I got a guy that I was high. I mean, anybody who is a college guy, anybody who is into, the scouting of freshmen knows Zach Evans, formerly of TCU, now graduated from Ole Miss. Well, not graduated, but left Ole Miss. Former 5-star, premium prospect, was committed to Georgia, had a tumultuous recruitment process, and kind of, ended up at TCU after the spring. Is a very rare sort of thing. They gave him eligibility. And even though he, again, injuries kind of cropped up with him, he had a Liz Frank issue in 2021. This year with Ole Miss, Quinshon Judkins, who you will definitely be hearing about as the next Bijan Robinson type after Raheem Sanders next year, he kind of took over the short yardage and bell cow work for Ole Miss. But you look at Evans, you could probably get him in the 4th, 5th round at this point. In terms of his explosiveness, no other running back in this class is more explosive than Zach Evans on a per carry basis. 22% of his carries went for 10+ yards. 1 out of every 4. That's insane. You don't see that anywhere. He led the nation in that stat. Additionally, he runs strong. He runs, with power. 35% of his carries over the last 2 seasons went for first downs. Okay. Athletically, where I think he really took a ding in the early part in this evaluation process, he went to the combine and weighed in at 202 after he was listed around 215. Traditionally all throughout college. And you never know what these guys are going to weigh in. It's a fool's errand. But he weighed in at 202 at the combine and didn't run, which had people saying, all right, well, what's going on here? He was listed at 215. He's 202. Little concern. He goes to his pro day, right? Shows up at 208. Now that's in line with Tank Bigsby, who was 209. I want my running backs in the 210 at least, to preferably 215 range. I think, he's young. He's in that just sub 21 or right in the 21 years old range. He's a 3-year guy, Evans. I think you see him get to the 210, 215 range comfortably in his NFL career as he ages. He shows up at 208. He runs a 4.5 flat. Okay, really good mark, 89th percentile. Does a 6.893 cone, which is anything under 7 seconds is excellent. Does that. That's a 90th percentile mark. And he's got 10.25-inch hands. He's got big old hands that help with the receiving. I've seen him. He can catch. He can do the between the tackles work. He's instinctive. He follows his blocks. And just simply the eyeball test of me watching him for the last 3 years, this guy can do it. Okay, and if you're taking him in the 4th, 5th round, which is where I think he's going right now, and I can't believe it, because I have him, as a top 10 RB, and you're seeing him in the RB 15. I think he's probably RB 7. I think that's a phenomenal value. And I went out and bought his Bowman U autograph, 1 of 5 red, 2 days ago. It's for $64. Great deal. So money, meat, mouth.
Man, that's good stuff. I just to kind of connect the dots for the listeners who may not be eyeball deep in draft analysis. I do think that these kind of running backs that Eric's talking about are the kind of guys who you want to pay attention to where they land. I know we're talking about landing spot independent, but you want to make sure that hey, this guy's 3rd, 4th on the depth chart in Tampa or wherever it is, to make sure that you can scoop them up, whether you're doing best ball, whether you're doing early drafts, whatever, dynasty, to make sure that it's like a good process. Okay, this guy blew it away athletically, great production. I'm gonna take a flyer on him. It doesn't hurt, So this is great information to sort of connect those dots, I think.
And yeah, Eric, you referenced he doesn't turn 22 until May 30th. So again, there's some guys who will play the rookie year at age 21, but he's gonna be a young 22 as a rookie. The only thing you said you like his pass catching. Says why didn't he catch more passes? I think career high of 12 last year for Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, system. TCU and Ole Miss don't throw to the running backs, but if you look on tape, as watching him over the years, he has that. He can do it. I've seen him catch passes, and the old you're running out and you have to do the twist. Oh, it's behind me, and he got plenty of poor passes from Max Duggan. That wasn't a problem. So if you look at the next thing I'm even going to talk about, Kendre Miller, who was at TCU, his backfield mate, it was the same situation with him. They just don't throw in their system 2 running backs, so you just didn't have the kind of tape with it. And then again with Evans, Quinshon Judkins is a true freshman, came out, and he is the 2025, dominant primordial beast, Jack London style. So you're going to be hearing plenty of Quinshon Judkins, and he took a lot of that work, from Evans, that every down work. So they kind of had, like a 1A, 1B scenario. It just wasn't his role. So that's why I kind of wanted to accentuate his hands. So you say, look, he's got huge hands. We heard all about like the last cycle of, oh my God, Treylon Burks' hands are so big. They have to get 4X hands. And they measured it and he was sub 10 inches. It's like, okay, come on. If you have 10 plus inch hands, he does. I give it a little bump in the receiving game since we didn't get to see it much, but that's how it goes.
And we've learned too, the college receiving numbers don't necessarily mean anything for a lot of these guys. Because like you said, so much of it is system based, and so much of it is too, they could be a good pass catcher, but they're playing at like a blue chip school that has 3 or 4 or 5-star running backs, and they just don't get the opportunity to do it. So yeah, the numbers can very much lie when it comes to collegiate running back receptions.